Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to guide you in creating your first workflow with N8N. So what's the idea? It's that I'm going to start with a blank page and show you how I install each node separately and give you exactly the why and the how. That is to say, all the configurations and parameters, I will guide you step by step so that you can actually reproduce them yourself and create a workflow on your own. So why this video? Why? Why didn't I just provide the workflow and give you the option to download and reuse it? My idea is that I would like to show you how I think and how I make strategic decisions when I create an automation. And generally companies that buy workflows or contact me to create a custom workflow, they always have the problem later on with maintenance, improvement, or updating. So as a result, they are always forced to go back to the person who created the workflow, to ask them to improve it. And so, as a result, if we learn to create the workflow from A to Z from the start, you will see that we will be able to first debug errors and especially have a mindset that allows us to create our own workflow to meet a specific need. So as a result, I had the idea to create this training, and you will see how I think, how I apply. And at the end of the training, you will simply find the common errors that can be encountered with N8N. And I will show you how I was able to fix them by following the flow of information. And that's how you should think. So the video will also be accompanied by a small free document where you can of course even download the workflow, and you will find all the links I will use for API settings and to run my system, even with the global prompt. The idea is that I will try to create a system capable of extracting, in fact, information from Google Maps EU to simply create a well-developed database, very well made, so that my salespeople, the people who will do the prospecting, will find a complete database with emails, email addresses, physical addresses, phone numbers, and everything that goes with it. And that generally, if done by a human being, if a human is going to do it, it will take them 5 to 6 hours a day. Today, with this AI, with this mechanism, it's done in 2 minutes. We can have a database of 1,000 addresses. And what is very important, so in the training, I will first start by explaining or running, in fact, this workflow to see a little bit of the result and what I want to achieve in the end. And then we will simply open a new empty workflow and start implementing the nodes one by one. Thank you very much. Hello everyone. So in this workshop, what are we going to do? We are going to try to create completely a workflow that allows extracting data and information from Google Maps. You know that on Google Maps we find many businesses, and in those businesses, if we were to manually extract the data and information, it would take a lot of time. What's the idea? It's to set up a system. As soon as I tell it in chat, like a simple prompt, hello, I want to receive the 1,000 hotels that are in Paris. What it will do is directly search for Paris Hotel. And when it launches that search, you will see that it will find thousands of pieces of information. And with APIs, it is capable of copying them in a matter of seconds and placing them into a database. And thanks to this workflow, it will do the job and allow me to extract the data and information. So, a very quick test. This is my workflow, and I have an AI agent here with the intelligence to capture everything. So I will talk to it using a very simple chat. Now imagine that here I will ask it, for example, to find pharmacies in New York for me. That's a simple question. And my goal is that all this data, starting from line 21, you will see that it will fill in the data. For the test information, I will just ask it to capture 5 since it's just for testing. But of course, for you, you will see in the training that I can go up to 1,000 lines, so in my database, in a few seconds. So now I'm launching my request, so here it is. It's processing, it's calling my functions, and now it's actually processing. You will see that behind the scenes, it will call several APIs that we will look at in detail. So here it is currently searching for results. And then there you go. It was able to simply extract 5 results now. When you see it here, if I go back to my system, so it's preparing the response, and I look at my Excel file, and there it is in my Excel file. I have this result very, very quickly with email addresses and phone numbers. And there you have the database. It is really very, very extensive. So here it is. This is just a small demonstration to explain to you that the system really, it's a very powerful system that can help me in my prospecting and actually provide me with great results. So there you go. Right here, it gives you a little recap with the data and information. So the objective, we will really start from a page. So here we will record. We will start from a completely blank page like this, and we will begin creating this scenario from A to Z with each installation, each parameter. 1. And I will guide you until your system is operational. Thank you. So just before continuing the training on YouTube, I wanted to introduce myself very quickly for those who don't know me. So my name is Firas. I have a PhD in artificial intelligence, and today I am an instructor on the Udemy platform. So on this platform, I teach courses in marketing, business, and artificial intelligence. And if you go to the marketing category, you will find that I have several courses there, and I am ranked as the most popular instructor in France in these categories. You will see that I have profiles that contain the badge, Udemy Partner Instructor, and most of my courses also have the badge, Best Seller. Among my accounts, on Udemy, I have approximately 120,000 students who have taken my courses here, and of course, we have more than 14,000 positive reviews. Today, I am also a member of the N8N community, where I actually publish my workflows. These are workflows that I tailor for companies and share with you for free with the goal of learning. To finally thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel on my website, which you will find the link here. I have gathered my courses that are currently available on Udemy, which are best sellers, and you simply have access to them directly to actually benefit from these courses. This is a thank you from me for your loyalty. Use this coupon to access these courses. So I say thank you very much and enjoy the courses. Let's get started then to begin creating a workflow. Generally speaking, we actually need an N8N account. And to have an N8N account, there is the option to go directly to the official N8N website. But here on the site, it does not offer, in fact, there is a 14-day trial, but regarding the price afterwards, once the 14 days are over. The issue is that even if I pay monthly, it becomes a bit expensive. It's 24 euros per month. And I can only have 5 active workflows. And that's very little and very expensive. What are the other solutions? N8N, in fact, is an open source solution, so I can install it on another server and use it in an unlimited way. That's very important. And so for me, actually, what I do is simply use Hostinger, but be careful. I have access, or we will have specific access for N8N. That means a server where N8N is installed. It's not a regular server. And that one can be had for only 6.99 euros per month. And above all, the number of workflows I can use inside is unlimited. That's important. So I will put the direct link to the pre-installed N8N in the description. And note, I have a 30-day free trial, and that's a little bit the difference. So after 30 days, if I'm not interested, or if my workflows no longer work, or if I have changed the domain of my training, of course, I can actually stop and be 100% refunded. So it's important to have the 30 days. And to connect, I recommend, and actually recommend this server, which has 2 processors. It's much more interesting to have a single processor because this one is actually very fast. 4 processors. It's generally for people who have about 100 active workflows at the same time. But for someone who wants to learn automation, or in a company, I think, about 10 or 20 active workflows simultaneously with a PC, sister of 2 on PC, or a server with 2 processors is more than enough. So as soon as I select, I will guide you step by step until we have the final interface and the server installed on our system. So here I can, of course, select the duration. And you will see that I can give you a discount code, in fact, which will give you another reduction. You just need to enter Dr. Firas. So that's the coupon code. Once you apply it, you will see that the price will be further reduced, and that's very interesting. Then you will directly click on continue. No need to fill in that information. You click on continue so we can proceed to the server validation mode and the setup and the configuration that I will show you now, step by step. So right after the spice, we will be here in this interface to start the configuration of our server. You will first choose the physical location of your server. You will find several locations. Personally, I choose France since I have clients in France, so it's very optimized. In fact, for traffic management, I select continue, and here it's very important. In fact, you will find several types of servers. What interests me is this one. In fact, it's the N8N. You can simply type here N8N and you will find that server. If I then select this server, of course, it will tell me that it will work with the Ubuntu 24.04 version, which is the very latest version, and this I click on select. There, it suggested adding what is called a malware system, which is simply an antivirus that will actually protect the server from attacks and anything related to injection. So there I will activate it, it's free, and then I will create my account with my login and password. So here I choose a login and password. I can click here to use automatic generation. And here it's actually the name of my server. You will copy this information and also copy the information of your password to a secure place, because you will need it when we connect with SSH later on our server. So there I click on continue. It will take a few moments to complete the installation and configuration of the server. Generally it's quick, so let's say in about 3 minutes you will find your VPS configuration ready to be deployed. So we just had to wait for the installation to successfully complete. Well then, now I can directly access to configure my VPS. Here there are the access details. SSH, it's very useful to copy them. We see the copies in a secure place with the login and password. And here you also have the option to have a custom domain name to access your VPS, the server. Of course, you can click here and select the domain name that interests you. As you can see, here it's €4. You can even find it for less than €2 and even less than €1. It's a choice. You can do it whenever you want to give a direct name to your VPS. And to access now for the final configuration, so here I click on VPS and you will see that I can simply click to access my server. This is a small form, so we can simply skip it and go directly to manage application. So I clicked here and I need to define a SAT email with which I will access my end with end, as well as a username where you put your first name, last name and your password here and you activate here. In fact, if you actually want to receive updates, otherwise you will click on next. And there you go. Now I'm on my interface. There is the possibility here to click there to actually receive a free lifetime license key to be able to unlock additional features and functionalities. Here I click on send me a free license key to receive it in my email inbox. So here is this free key. And off we go. Now I'm on my N8N interface. Here is where I can actually create my different tasks, scenario pantish, and manage everything related to workflow on this interface. So we have finished the installation and configuration of N8N. So here I actually have access to my key, so I would have received it by email and I just needed to copy this code or click on activate. The scene scale to be able to activate it. And then I simply went into settings here in the parameters, and you will see that here in usage and plan, of course, I have an unlimited number of workflows. That's what's very interesting. And also I can simply receive everything that is paid features by entering my key here. So now I will click to add the key, not forgetting that this will save me from actually signing up for paid plans. So I come here, click on enter key, and then I will simply copy and paste my key. And once my key is entered, I will simply click here on activate. And there you go, the license has been successfully added. So now I can simply use and work with the system without any problem. So I have successfully created an N8N account with an unlimited number of workflows on a server that is hosted on hosting, and I can launch it. We have seen how we could optimize the installation of N8N and be able to run and work with all scenarios and workflows at a lower cost with, of course, a performant server that can support the different scenarios. So let's get started. We will create our workflow. Here in my interface, I will select Create Workflow. As soon as I open it, I will obviously give a name to my workflow. Always remember to save, so we will call the workflow Google Maps Pull Workflow Demo. And the first thing to do is actually click here to search for the manual trigger. This means that here I can tell my system that I want it to trigger. When I write a message, for example, I will ask it to search for hotels. So it is very, very important here to actually select how you want to trigger this workflow in our case. So I will simply select chat. So very well, there you go. So it's the chat that will be launched. There is no configuration to do here. So simply, when I write the external case, you will see that here there is a small chat button. This means that when I want to launch this workflow, I will write a message here. So this workflow, this message, will obviously be sent to whom? To my AI agent. So as a result, when I click here, I will look for the agent. And there, this agent, which we will of course fully configure, will receive the command. So here from the node that has just been created, which is the chat node, and also the variable where the information is, it's actually here. So it automatically creates itself in an automatic manner. We won't change it for now, and all the options can be used later. Later on, we will refine the print and better direct our agent. But for the moment, actually, there you go. We will just do it this way. There won't actually be any information to add. I can at most click on options here, set system, message, and I tell it that, there you go, you are an agent who will help me. So, helpful assistant. But afterwards, we don't need, actually, it's optional. We won't need to set it up right away. We will work gradually. So, each agent, you will see that this agent here will actually need to make several connections. So it received the input. It also actually needs to be assigned a model. It likes the artificial intelligence model, which means it's like the brain. So it needs a model that will help it. In fact, there you go, to respond, to retrieve information, to create, to take them. And so there, I will click here on plus in there. I can, there you go, add several types of models. So the models are really numerous. For me, I will do something much simpler. I will add the Open2 one. So there, I will select the Open2 model. So there, I click here in OpenAI. You will see that there, I can choose the exact type of model I will use. As you know, in OpenAI, there are several models. Each model is specified to do specific things. For example, the 4.5, that one, it is the most expensive, but it is much more used for reasoning and reflection tasks. That's not our case. For me, I really want a model that is fast, that can summarize information. And well, to launch the model, and especially one that is not too expensive. So I turn to GPT-4o Mini, which is great in terms of quality and price. But be careful, to connect it, you simply need to create a connection here, the creation of a connection. You'll see if I will click here, if I will click to create a new connection, because I already have one. But if I want to create a new connection, I would just need to get something called the API key. So to get the API key, it's very simple. You will go straight to this website. Okay, so this is my Open and Yaile site. So it's the Open platform site. And Yaile points like / to PK, Yayas. So here on this platform, you will see that there is a small option. There, it actually allows me to create. Here are the details. So the bill, of course, is paid, but it doesn't consume much. You just need to, well, enter your credit card and you will see. In fact, the cost of usage is not expensive at all. You can create multiple APIs and then use them. And you will see, for example, for an entire system that I have set up, which performs extraction, we consume very little because they charge us based on the traffic we generate with the requests. And here today, we really have small amounts in terms of GPT usage. That's why I recommend using the 4o Mini model, which is the cheapest and most effective for this kind of task. So for you, you will create here a key. You will just give a name to this key and click on Create Secret Key. And then the system will give us a code, and I will simply take that code and just copy paste it here. Once I do that, you will see that the system will be like this in green, especially to indicate that the connection is well established and I can obviously work. All the other information you won't need to modify. So there you go. what do I have? I simply have a system that is triggered with the chat, which has an AI, an agent, where this agent, it has a little brain here connected. And be careful, I can add something called memory. So when I click on memory today, with the updates, it changes. The titles of these memories today, it simply offers us memory. So I will take this memory. And in this memory, I will just tell the system that I want it to actually remember the last 15 discussions. And that is important. Why? Because when I ask a question to the AI, to this agent, it can just answer the question. But if I ask a second question, it won't remember our discussion, especially the agents. In fact, for those who make, chatbots and all that, obviously here, we move to 100 spaces from here. The number in May to 100 or 150 so that it remembers all the discussions. But here, for our session 15, it's more than enough, because once it does a task, I can ask it other questions to analyze the results and everything. And so I want it to be like a machine that actually remembers all my discussions there. Okay, so what do I have here? I simply have a chat here, I have the AI here, and I actually have the brain, which is the LLM model of ChatGPT, which is connected. So my system there, if I just go here to chat, if I just say like this, we'll see normally it is capable of responding. And that's what's happening here. So there, it simply did a call. So there you go. If I look here, we go here. So open it like this. So as a result, I asked it a question. It already recorded the question in memory. That's the first thing it does. So it records it in memory. After the call, ChatGPT sends this question. And ChatGPT, in fact, provides the answer. See here at the level of taking instructions. Remember that we set it as you are the head full assistant. But later we will develop it further so that it can be much more task-oriented towards what I am creating for it. And so here, it's a basic print. And afterwards, when it has the answer and records it, if a tank, so it records. Because if I ask it another question here, it will continue with the previous questions. There, for me, the system is installed. What I would need to do, I would need to create the tools now. The tools, or rather the addition of these tools, will enable this agent to use them so that it can simply meet my needs and answer my more specific questions. And so the second step is to set up the necessary tools to execute specific tasks.